Today we're doing something a little different. We are going super tactical.
We are. This is a masterclass, a high-energy cram session, really, designed to help you hack your medical terminology studies.
Exactly. We know just memorizing lists can be incredibly dry.
Yeah, and it doesn't stick. So our mission today is to turn those textbook lists into a conversation. We're going to cover every single combining form from the Chapter 1 and 2 materials you're studying.
Every single one. And we have a strict protocol for this, right? To maximize retention.
That's right. 3 steps for every term. First, we'll give you the clear pronunciation. Hearing it right is half the battle.
Okay.
Second, the literal definition, straight from the source. And third, a quick application, a context example to really lock it in.
And we're also going to be your guides for the tricky parts.
Yeah.
The source material has these specific pro tips, these little traps about when to use one word for kidney over another, for instance.
Oh, yeah. We'll sound the alarm when we get to those. Those are guaranteed exam questions.
All right, let's do it. We're starting at the top of the list, the A section. First up is adeno.
Okay, so pronunciation is D-E-N-O.
D-N-O.
And it just means gland.
Gland. This is a foundational one. You see it everywhere.
You do. The classic context is in a word like adenoma.
Okay.
You break it down. Anema means tumor. So adenoma is a tumor of a gland. Simple. It tells you exactly what it is.
Perfect. Next up, amnio.
Amnio. This refers to the amnion. That's the sac of fluid that surrounds an embryo.
The protective bubble, basically.
All right.
And the procedure everyone's heard of is amniocentesis.
Right, which sounds complex, but it's just logic. The suffix centesis means a surgical puncture. So you're literally puncturing the amnion to get a fluid sample.
Moving into the body's plumbing system, right? We have a few vessel terms coming up. The first one is the general term, angio.
It means vessel. Now, usually it's a blood vessel, but the root itself just means tube or vessel.
So when we hear angioplasty, the word itself isn't specifying if it's an artery or a vein.
Exactly. Arthroplasty is surgical repair. You're just repairing a vessel.
Okay, now let's get more specific with arterio.
Arterio. This one is specifically an artery. You can't use this for a vein.
And the condition we always hear about is arteriosclerosis.
Which is the hardening of those arteries. The vessel wall itself becomes rigid.
Now this is where it gets tricky. There's a word that sounds almost identical, but means something totally different. Athero.
Yes. Huge exam trap. It's pronounced athero. It does not mean artery. It means plaque.
Plaque.
Specifically, that yellow, fatty material that can build up inside.
So atherosclerosis is not the same thing as arteriosclerosis.
They're related, but no. Atherosclerosis is the hardening caused by that fatty plaque. Think of arterio as the pipe and athero as the gunk clogging the pipe.
That's a great way to put it. Okay, shifting gears, arthro.
Arthro, and that means joint.
Which gives us arthritis, inflammation of a joint.
Simple as that.
And to round out the A list, a location.
Axillo.
This is the medical term for the armpit, the underarm area. Okay, why is that clinically important?
It's all about the axillary lymph nodes. When screening for breast cancer, checking that axillary region is critical. It's often the first place the cancer can spread.
So axillary is more than just anatomy. It's a roadmap for diagnosis.
Precisely.
Okay, section 1 is done. Let's move into the chest. We've got a 2-for-1 to start. Broncho and bronchio.
Yep, 2 forms, same meaning. They both mean bronchial tube.
And if those tubes get inflamed, you've got bronchitis.
Literally tube inflammation, that's why you cough.
Makes sense. Next is a real heavy hitter. Carcino.
It means cancerous.
Which gives us the word carcinoma.
A cancerous tumor. Malignant. If you see carcino, it's never good news.
Now the heart. Cardio?
Cardio. It means heart.
So cardiology is the study of the heart. Pretty straightforward.
It is a common one.
Okay. What about chemo?
Chemo, we all think of cancer treatment, but the actual definition is broader. It's just drug or chemical.
So chemotherapy literally means drug treatment.
Exactly. We use it for cancer, but technically any treatment with a chemical is a form of chemotherapy.
That's a great point. All right, let's try a tongue twister. Cholecysto.
Cholecysto. It's a mouthful. This means the gallbladder.
Let's break that down. Chole is bile, and cyst is a sac.
So it's the bile sac. That's all it is. And when it gets inflamed, you have cholecystitis.
Okay, now a term about time. Chrono.
The definition is time.
So in medicine, this is about a condition being chronic.
Right. It persists over time. It's not acute. It's the long game.
Got it. Next up, colo.
This is the colon, the large intestine.
And the surgical procedure.
A colostomy. An ostomy is a surgically created opening. So you're making a new opening for the colon.
Okay, we have another hard term here. Corono.
And this one's cool. The text gives two meanings, heart and also crown.
Round, like crown.
Because the arteries that supply blood to the heart muscle itself, they wrap around the top of it.
Oh, like a crown.
Exactly. They look like a crown sitting on top of the heart. So we call them the coronary arteries.
That's a fantastic visual. Okay, let's move on to the head. Cranium, skull.
The bone helmet that protects the brain.
And the surgery?
Craniotomy.
Craniotomy. We just talked about restomy opening with the colon, but this is back to ledmy.
Right, so it's just an incision cutting into the skull.
Why do they do this?
Usually to access the brain, to relieve pressure maybe from a brain bleed, a hematoma, or to get to a tumor like an adenoma or another type. They cut a flap of bone out, do the work inside, and then they put the bone flap back.
Cryo.
Cold.
So cryotherapy.
Treatment using extreme cold, like using liquid nitrogen to freeze off a wart.
Okay. Cysto. We saw this as part of cholecysto, but on its own.
On its own, cysto usually means the urinary bladder, but the text does note it can also just mean any sac of fluid.
But for an exam, if I see cystitis.
You should assume it means inflammation of the urinary bladder. That's the default.
Got it. Electro.
Electro.
Definition. Electricity.
The body runs on it. Your entire nervous system, your muscles, your heart, they all operate on tiny electrical impulses.
And the context is the famous EKG or ECG. Electrocardiogram.
Electrocardiogram. Let's break it down. It's a great one. Electricity plus cardio, heart, plus gram, a record or picture.
So a record of the electricity of the heart.
That's it. That squiggly line you see on the hospital monitor, that is literally a graph of the electrical impulse traveling through the heart muscle, telling it to contract.
Back to the head, but inside the skull this time. Encephalo.
Encephalo.
Definition. Brain.
The organ itself. The mothership.
I use a little trick to remember this one. En means inside.
Yep.
And cephal means head. So the stuff inside the head.
That works perfectly. And the context word is a frightening one. Encephalitis.
Encephalitis. Inflammation of the brain.
This isn't just a headache. This is swelling of the brain tissue itself, usually from a virus like West Nile or herpes. And because the skull, cranio, doesn't expand, that swelling has nowhere to go. It increases the pressure inside your head.
It's a medical emergency. We have a few color codes in medicine. Here's the first. Erythro.
Erythro.
Definition. Red.
Red. And the context word, erythrocyte. Erythrocyte. And that suffix, ellipsite, simply means cell. You'll see it everywhere. So this is a red blood cell.
These are the oxygen carriers.
The little red donut-shaped inner tubes floating in your vessels, carrying oxygen from the lungs to the tissues.
Esophagus.
Esophagus, that tube from your throat down to your stomach.
Giving us the adjective esophageal.
Right.
And another 2 for 1 for blood.
Hemo.
And hemato.
Both mean blood.
Any reason for 2?
Not really, just how the language evolved. You use hemato in hematology, the study of blood. You use hemo in hemoglobin. Same meaning, just different conventions.
Good to know. And the last one from this first list?
Hepato.
Liver. So hepatitis is?
Inflammation of the liver, a very common term.
Okay, lower torso.
Hystero.
Uterus, which is why a hysterectomy is the removal of the uterus.
It is. Fun fact, that's also where the word hysteria comes from. The ancient Greeks thought female emotional problems came from a wandering uterus. Groin. Specifically the area where your thigh meets your torso.
Which is where you'd get an inguinal hernia.
Exactly. A weakness in the muscle wall right in that spot.
Now for a more abstract one. Isho? How do you say that?
ISHO.
It means?
To hold back.
To hold back. That one always feels weird to me.
It's not an emotion. Think of a kink in a garden hose holding back water.
Okay.
The key term is ischemia. It means blood is being held back from tissue, starving it of oxygen.
Got it. And the last one for this section, laparo.
Abdomen. Specifically the abdominal wall.
And this gives us laparoscopy.
Right. Keyhole surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Using a scope to view the abdomen through a tiny incision.
Okay, take a breath. Let's keep the pace. Laryngo.
The voice box, or larynx.
So laryngitis is when you lose your voice because that box is inflamed?
Exactly.
Leuco.
White.
We had erythrocyte for a red cell, so leukocyte must be.
A white blood cell. Your immune system's soldiers?
Okay, hold on. Stop everything. We've hit our first big pro tip red alert. If you're multitasking, you need to focus in right now. We're at the battle of the breast terms.
Ah, yes. The memmo versus masto distinction.
They both mean breast, but you absolutely cannot mix them up. The textbook gives very specific rules.
It does. Okay, let's lay out the rules. First, you have mammo. Think of this one for imaging and cosmetic repair. The rule is you use it with the suffixes gram and pasty.
So an X-ray of the breast is a mammogram. You'd never say mastogram.
Never. Doesn't exist. And a breast augmentation is a mammoplasty.
Okay, so that's mammo. When do we use masto?
You use masto for the more pathological stuff. The text says to use it with ectomy for removal and itis for inflammation.
So an infection is mastitis.
Right. And surgical removal due to cancer is a mastectomy.
So mammo for pictures and plastics, masto for inflammation and removal. You have to memorize that.
Absolutely crucial.
Okay, back to our list. Myo
Muscle
and myalgia.
is muscle pain. Algia means pain.
Okay, now myelo. This is another one with a split personality.
It is. Its primary meaning is spinal cord.
So myelitis would be inflammation of the spinal cord.
Correct. But the source material notes it also means bone marrow.
Wait, spinal cord and bone marrow? Those seem totally different.
It's a great example of how the language formed. The ancients saw a soft, jelly-like core inside the spinal cord, and a soft, jelly-like core inside other bones, the marrow. They looked similar.
So they just gave them the same name. Myelo basically means soft stuff inside a bone.
Pretty much. So a myeloma is a tumor of the bone marrow. The context of the whole word tells you which meaning to use.
Fascinating. All right, moving to a darker one. Necro.
Death, specifically the death of cells or tissue.
So necrosis is the condition of tissue death.
Right, like gangrene.
Okay, red alert number 2. Get ready. The kidney conundrum.
Nephro versus reno.
Both mean kidney. What's the rule here?
Okay, nephro is your main workhorse. You use it with almost everything. Nephritis for inflammation, nephrectomy for removal.
Got it. Nephro is the default.
But then you have reno. You only use reno with 2 specific suffixes, al and never gram.
So you would say renal failure pertaining to the kidney.
Yes. Or renogram, which is a stand of the kidney. You would never say rhinitis.
It's nephritis.
Oh.
Okay, that's clear. Reno is only for renal and renogram. All right, moving on. This next one is tough to spell. Ophoro.
It means ovary.
And an oophorectomy is the removal of an ovary.
Correct.
Osteo.
Bone.
Osteoporosis.
The condition where bones become porous or less dense.
Oto.
Ear.
So otitis is an ear inflammation.
Yep. Usually otitis media, a middle ear infection.
Elbow.
Hip area.
So the adjective is pelvic.
Pertaining to the pelvis.
Peritoneum.
The peritoneum. That's the membrane that lines the entire abdominal cavity. It wraps the organs.
And peritonitis would be an inflammation of that lining, maybe from a burst appendix.
A classic cause.
Phlebo.
Fame.
So a person who draws blood is a phlebotomist.
Because they perform a phlebotomy, an incision into a vein.
We are in the home stretch. Back to the lungs with pneumono and pulmono.
Both mean lung.
What's the usage?
Generally, pneumonia is a condition of the lungs, while pulmonary means pertaining to the lungs, like the pulmonary artery.
Got it. Radio.
X-rays.
Giving us radiology.
The study and use of X-rays.
Rhino.
Nose.
Like a rhinoceros.
Exactly. And a rhinoplasty is surgical repair of the nose. A nose job.
Salpingo.
This one means fallopian tube. It comes from the Greek word for trumpet because of the shape.
So a salpingectomy is the removal of a fallopian tube.
You got it.
Okay, final stretch. Let's do a rapid fire. Sarco.
Flesh?
So a sarcoma is a tumor of the flesh or connective tissue.
Correct.
Septico.
Pertaining to infection?
Septicemia.
An infection in the blood. Emia means blood condition.
Trachea.
Windpipe or trachea?
Tracheotomy.
Incision into the windpipe.
Uro.
Urine or the urinary tract.
Giving us urology.
A study of the urinary tract.
And the very last one, vasculo.
Blood vessel. Very similar to angio.
And the adjective is vascular.
Pertaining to blood vessels.
And we did it. That's the entire list.
Wow, that was a marathon, but those are the absolute building blocks.